Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my February TBR. I'm a mood reader who loves structure, and that is a dangerous combination when you have a physical TBR that is as long as you. Cue the scroll that falls out of your arm and carries on rolling across the floor. That's how long my list is. Well, maybe not so much because I did some good work last month. But in order to combat my own personality, I came up with my own structure, which is picking 15 books from my TBR every single month and mood reading from them, with some success or not. It depends on how I'm feeling. But it's a system we love because we like picking the prompts out of the jar more than we like reading the books at this point. And so we do these videos and we hope for the best. Okay? Now a little update. In January, we did this video with 133 books on our TBR. As I am sitting here today, I have done a huge unhaul. So my physical TBR is now sat at 98 books. Well done me. I did read some of those, by the way. That's not all an unhaul. I read a significant number in January. But I also have 83 Kindle books, and so my total TBR with both of those is at 181. Now, I'm not as bothered about the Kindle ones as I am the physical, so as always, we're going to try and get as many physical books on this TBR as physically possible. But it all depends on what this little guy picks for us. So, as always, we're going to start with the books that I have pre-selected to go onto this list for whatever reason, and then we're going to go onto the jar to pick the rest. We start with my Patreon book club book pick of the month, which is We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. I have the Fairy Loot, which is absolutely stunning and I just cannot. I am so excited to read this book. It is ridiculous. So I'm really excited to read this one this month. The next two I've picked because I have the Libby holds for them. So I have Bonds of Hercules and The Dragon Republic. Now, these two are books that I have on my series in progress list. I have The Villains of Law, which is the Bonds of Hercules, and that is the most current book out, I believe. And then I also have the Poppy War series on my list. I did audiobook The Poppy War, so I decided to audiobook The Dragon Republic as well. So those two are on the list. And speaking of my series in progress list, we also have the Zodiac Academy series on that list, and I was very optimistic last month when I put the entire Zodiac Academy series on my list. So instead we're going to go for a slightly more reserved approach, and this month we are just going to put a single book on that list, and that is Sorrow and Starlight, which is book number 8 in the series. I'm hoping that if I can just do one of these per month, then hopefully I might get the series finished, but they're really overwhelming to me now because all of them are like over 800-900 pages long, and the idea of picking them up scares me, so I just didn't in January. So I figure one a month and hopefully we'll get there. So Sorrow and Starlight is on there also. And then at the end of last year, I decided on the 26 books that I want to read in 2026. And I recently went through that list and I sorted them into the best reading order per month so that I could get them all done. And because my biggest goal of 2026 is to try and read series back to back and also try and keep momentum, like emotional momentum going when I'm reading series, I want to try and read them as optimally as possible. And for me, that means either starting and finishing it straight away, starting and completing all books out right before the next book comes out if I have to read an incomplete series. And so I went through the whole year and I organised them all, and for the month of February we have 3 of the books from my 26 in 2026 list, and those are On Wings of Blood by Briar Berlin and also The Bond That Burns, which is book number 2. These are actually the US deluxe editions, which I'm really excited to have. Now, I've heard great things about this series, but obviously I am yet to start it, and my aim is I'm going to try and read these towards the end of the month because book 3 comes out in March, so that is my plan. We'll see how I get on. And then the third book is Dragon Cursed by Elise Covert, because that comes out in the month of February as well. I don't have a physical copy of it, so I'll be reading it on my Kindle. And then last but certainly not least for the pre-selected books on my list is actually one that my Discord members chose for me. So one thing I like to do is if I have any books left over from my January TBR, I like to put them in a poll and give them the opportunity to pick which book I carry over into this month. And that is Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox. Now, I am really upset because I did not realise that this was being picked up for trad publishing, and I only have Riftborn in physical copy, and I really dislike when my books don't match each other, and I cannot get copies of Duskbound or even The Ascended, which is the linked, it's in a different series but I think it's like interconnected with these books, and so I am actually going to be selling the physical copy, but I'm gonna hopefully try and start Riftborn this month also. I say try, like I know I'm definitely not going to read all 15 of these books, but by this point you know I'm not going to read all 15 of these. It's a choice, a smaller amount of the TBR to select from when I'm picking a book. I don't know, for some reason in my mind it works, okay? So those are the 8 books that we have pre-selected, which means we have 6 more books for the TBR jar to pick. Let's get on with it. I am hoping I actually only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 physical romance books left. I want to try and get through as many as I can this month because that will also help me with my Lovies challenge, which is reading every single physical romance book I have on my shelves in order to, I don't know, just tick them off and feel like I've just accomplished something other than reading my entire TBR, because we go for the small wins, okay? The small wins is where it's at, right? So that's my plan, because I do have a lot of fantasy in the stack. In fact, every single book that I have on this list so far is fantasy. So yeah, we're gonna focus on the romances, okay? Right, this guy, hopefully he's gonna do us proud and he's gonna give us the prompts we want. So we're gonna, not that they don't move, let's do a, I don't know, let's like pour half out, put one half back in. That's what you call a mixed TBR jar. And I think we'll just go for this one, seeing as it's sticking out the top. Oh God, I am a mess. Next book in a series you're in the middle of. Yay! I'm not in the middle of any series on the romance side. Wait, where's my phone? Right, my series in progress list is very minimal because of this exact reason. I don't like reading lots of series at once because it just doesn't do it for me anymore. So I have Zodiac Academy and we already have a book from there. We then have Poppy War, we've already got a book on there. We've got Villains of Law, got a book on there. The only other book series where there is another book to read is Magnolia Parks. Do I read Daisy Hates? Is the question. It's the only one that fits. It's quite literally the only book to fill the prompt, and annoyingly it's not on my physical or my Kindle TBR. So I will not be knocking off a book from the TBR, but I will from the series in progress list. So we'll pop Daisy Hates on there. That is a book that I will maybe like. I feel like the Daisy Hates book will determine whether I carry on with the Magnolia Park series or not. I audiobooked Magnolia Parks and I think I liked it because I audiobooked it, because it didn't feel really repetitive. I'm not sure if I can get the audiobook for Daisy Hates on Libby because last time I searched it wasn't on there, but I'll have a look. If not, we'll be Kindle reading it and then we'll see. Right, let's go for another one. I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna try and get them not so near the top, but it's hard when it's that full. A book with less than 100 reviews. Oh my word, that might be difficult. Damn it, I really wanted to read this, but it has 314 reviews. So that's a no. What about Between Commitment and Betrayal? I don't know if they're like popular or not. Oh, it's got like 4,000. That's absolutely nowhere near. Right, let me get my Kindle. I don't really want another fantasy for very obvious reasons, but we've got, Doe recommended Twinfluence, which I did have on my TBR one time, like last year at some point. Oh my God, it's got 85 reviews. Yes. Is it going to focus? Yes, 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 yes. So this has got 85 reviews, so that's less than 100. So we're going to go for that one. I also just realised I can't do basic maths because I needed to pull 7 prompts, not 6. Maths was never my strong suit, but yeah, let's do another. A green book. Okay, do we have any green books, romance-wise? No, that's not a shock. So we're going to go for Kindle. It's hard to see because I have a Paperwhite. Let's go to the Kindle app on my phone, shall we? Got such bad pins and needles, I can't go. Right, so far I found one option, and that is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. The green is tenuous. There is green on the cover, right? There's green on the cover. I'm going to see if I can find another one. If not, we're going to go for that one. Turns out I don't actually have many green books. Ah, I found one! So we're going to go with Collide by Balcabra. I think is how you say her name. and we have that on the Kindle, so it's gonna be one off the TBR. Thank God for that, because I genuinely thought we weren't gonna find one. Okay, let's go for this one, as I haven't folded it up very well, so we'll get it out of the way. Okay, so a book by a popular author. I have a couple of options. Now, I have Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, which Lauren Asher is a very popular author, and I have loved a couple of series by, well, I loved the Dream Man Billionaire series. I wasn't so keen on the F1 series, but I did like a couple of the books, so I feel like she would definitely qualify. But then also recently I got Nightshade by Autumn Woods, and I actually got the Sprayed Edge Works edition. Now normally I wouldn't buy a paperback and I wouldn't buy a Sprayed Edge version, but something about this spoke to me and I just needed it. I've heard great things about this book. The thing is, there is another book of this coming, and I'm not sure whether it's gonna matter if I don't go straight into the next one or if I can just read this on its own. Ooh. It needed a good crack. So yeah, what do I do? Do you know what? I feel like we're gonna go with Nightshade. We're gonna go with Nightshade, because you can't really get more popular than Autumn Woods and this particular book right now. Okay, let's go again. Let's dig a little. Book you don't want to be seen reading in public. That's a difficult one, because I don't really have many books with like men or anything on the cover. I honestly wouldn't say that there's any I wouldn't want to read in public anymore. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's a bad prompt, and I'm just gonna get rid of that actually. I'm just gonna go in the bin. We're just gonna go for this one instead, because it almost came out when I pulled that one out. A book over 500 pages. Ooh, okay. This one could be interesting. In fact, is Love Redesigned over 500 pages? Because this seems chunky. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, it is! It is! It's... Oh, there's an extended epilogue. Oh, they're not numbered though. Hang on, wait a minute. Oh my god, there's a continuation. 518 pages. I think these sound so good. So Julian, if I ever caught on fire, Dahlia Munoz, I think is how I say it, would fan the flames with a smile. So when she returns to Lake Wisteria, I fully intend to avoid the interior designer, at least until my meddling mother exploits my saviour complex. The faster I help Dahlia find her creative spark, the sooner she will leave town. But while I was busy getting rid of Dahlia, I overlooked one potential issue. What happens if I want her to stay? Dahlia. People say the devil has many faces, but I know only one. Julian Lopez, my childhood rival and family frenemy. I vowed to stay clear of him while recovering from my broken engagement, but then the billionaire makes an irresistible offer. Renovate a historic house together and triple our profits. Our temporary truce becomes compromised as we face years worth of denied attraction and mixed emotions. Giving in to our desire is inevitable, but falling in love, that isn't part of the plan. I am a sucker for a billionaire romance. I've been excited to start this series, as you can tell by me obviously wanting to pick it. Okay, we have 2 left. Let's go for this one. A book which will continue a series. So that's a very similar prompt to the first one that we had. And I think the way that I am going to go about this is that we have the first Lakefront Billionaires book on the list. So we're going to go for the second one, because I really don't want to add another fantasy to the mix. So I think we're going to go for Love Unwritten. These are 2 very chunky romance books. This one's 600 pages. So yeah, I am a little bit scared about the length of some of these books, but I just feel like picking another Zodiac is worse than this one. That is literally what my thought process has come down to, so yeah. Right, and last but not least, let's try and dig to the bottom. Well, that didn't go very well. That one, I want that one. Right, let's see. Let's hope it's a good one. The biggest book on your TBR. I refuse, it's going back in the jar. We're getting another one. I don't often skip, but today we've had 2 skips. Well, we've thrown one away and we're going to put one back in the jar, but I'm not doing another long book. What are the chances? Why does my TBR jar want me to read all the big books? Like why? Like why? Is it because I said I wasn't going to read the entire Zodiac Academy series? I wasn't going to put it on my TBR. Is that why? Like has the universe, has the TBR jar universe heard that and gone, ha 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 ha. No, you're going to put them on. Do you know what? No, I refuse. That's what I think. Go in the bin. We're not doing it. I refuse. Okay, that was slightly dramatic. We're going to pick another one, right? And this one is going to be a good one. Ready? Finish the series. Okay. Okay. Is it telling me I've got to put Beyond the Veil on my TBR for this month? Is that what it's telling me? Do I just do it? Do I just do it? I just know I'm not going to read it though. I just know I'm not going to read it. You know what? It's my own TBR. It's really not that deep. I'm not doing it. We're gonna pick another one, all right? And we're just gonna like pick one. This one. Right, so we have book not hyped on TikTok. Okay, I actually think that I can work with this because I have not seen a couple of my romance books hyped on TikTok. In fact, none of them that are left I have. No, actually that's a lie. Like maybe last year or the year before, the Addicted to You series was quite hyped on TikTok. I haven't seen this series on TikTok much. This is another billionaire romance series, but I think it is slightly more popular than Never Forget You by Fiona Lucas. So this is the one that I was hoping had less than 100 reviews. But I have never seen this spoken about anywhere, like anywhere. And I think that this is something to do with, oh, what's it called? Where you forget things. How ironic. Memory loss. It might tell me on the blurb. Let's read. A chance meeting. When Lily meets Ben one hot summer's day, it feels like fate, yet life is about to take them in different directions, so they agree to meet again in a year's time, but one of them never shows up. A lost memory. 5 years later, Ben still wonders how he let the love of his life slip between his fingers. Then a stranger, Alice, arrives in his tiny Scottish hometown, with no memory of how she got there. The only clue to her past is the silver bee necklace she wears, the very same one Ben gave Lily that magical summer's day. As Ben, Lily and Alice's stories converge, so begins a beautiful and deeply emotional novel of love and second chances. Something. I'm gonna have to Google it. ADHD brain is stopping me from being able to remember the word. Amnesia! I knew it began with an A. It sounds like she's suffering from amnesia. So we're gonna go for this one because I've never heard it spoken about. And it gets another romance book of my TBR. Yeah! I honestly still can't believe the absolute chaos that was, but let's do a quick roundup of the 15 books that are on my TBR to mood read for the month of February. Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox, On Wings of Blood by Briar Berlin, The Bond That Burns by Briar Berlin, my one and only Zodiac Academy book, Sorrow and Starlight, my book club pick of the month, which is We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. We then also have Bonds of Hercules by Jasmine Mass and The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kwang. We then have the next book in a series you're in the middle of, which we're going to do Daisy Hate by Jessa Hastings. We've got a book with less than 100 reviews, which is Twinfluent by Gracie Costello. We have a green book, which is Collide by Bal Cabra. We have a book by a popular author, which is Nightshade by Autumn Woods. A book over 500 pages, which is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. We have a book which will continue a series, which is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. Slight loophole, but we went with it. And then last but not least is a book not hyped on TikTok, which is Never Forget You by Fiona Lucas. Those are the 15 books that I'm going to be mood reading from in the month of February. And of course, we may also read other things that aren't on this list because that's the nature of a mood reader. But thank you so much for bearing with me in this absolute chaos that is the TBR jar, really wanting me to read Zodiac Academy series when I just know it's not going to happen. If you got to this point, I think it would only be right to have any zodiac symbol as the emoji that symbolises you getting to this point. Whatever your zodiac symbol is, you can put that in the comments if you like. If this is the kind of book content that you like to see, then maybe you should consider pressing that subscribe button. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.